Hi everyone, welcome to Coats and Jackets, and today it's time for another spooky top 5 video. I decided to do a top 5 of scary / horror graphic novels. For this top 5, I wanted to pick a bunch of graphic novels from what I own that I hadn't seen a lot of people talking about. I wanted to go with things that maybe were more unfamiliar to people and would be something new. Along those lines, most people are very familiar with the work of Emily Carroll, and just in case you're not, I wanted to give her an honorable mention because she is absolutely, hands down, one of my most favorite horror writers. It's a lot of horror. Some of it can be gory, but it's mostly very, very chilling and creepy, and it's like, the only way I know how to describe it is it's that feeling you get when something is like just under the surface of your skin and you know you're about to have goosebumps. Her writing is just so amazing. She does have a book out now called Through the Woods, which is a collection of short stories. They're all new short stories with exception to one. One of them is His Face All Red, which you can also read online. I really suggest checking out her stuff online. I'm going to have the link down below. She started out doing the horror comics as web-based comics, and so when you read them, you're led through them a very specific way, like through the internet as almost an environment. And it's something really different and really nice, and it really adds this extra richness to her work. She's very, very adept at using the medium she's presented with as a means of storytelling and not just as a way to transmit information to the viewer. Okay, so it's time for the top 5. Coming in at number 5 is I Love Halloween. This is a really, really weird, really different horror comedy style book, and I say comedy because it's got some really odd humor and it parodies a few different horror movie tropes, but it is very, very gory and very gruesome. It also has a fair amount of potty humor, which ends up playing a big role in a really interesting, unexpected way. Normally I'm not super into like potty humor or anything, but in this case they did something so clever with it that I actually really enjoyed it. So yeah, it's really, really weird and different, and I highly recommend checking it out. Coming in at number 4, it's Pinocchio, Vampire Slayer. Now I know that sounds odd, and it's going to sound like all of those other pop culture mashups, but it's not. It's really different. It's more along the lines of scary, spooky, and not so much horror. It is very interesting. The way it takes the traditional story of Pinocchio and how events happened and changes them to fit this narrative actually works really, really, really well. And it has a very beautiful ending that actually makes me like this version better than actual Pinocchio. Coming in at number 3 is The Melancholy Death of Oyster Boy and Other Stories. While not technically a graphic novel, it is illustrated. It's very much along the lines of, say, Shel Silverstein or Roald Dahl in terms of having illustrations made by the creator themselves that actually go hand in hand and fit really well with the little stories. It's a number of short stories and poems. It's really, really, really creepy and very, I don't know how to explain this. Melancholy is exactly the perfect word for it. it is sad to almost the point of depressing. But don't let that be a turn off from this book. It's a really nice, different little book, and I really do recommend it. It's some really nice stories, but it's fairly twisted if you stopped to think about it too much. Coming in at number 2 is Nevermore, a graphic adaptation of Edgar Allan Poe's short stories. So there's a number of short stories in here. Each one is a modern retelling of Poe's original tales. So it's in essence his stories, and they do follow very closely. They're just in new settings, or there's a slight twist of events that maybe you didn't expect. Each story is done by a different artist, and they each do their own unique interpretation. This book was really, really good. It was a great find. I actually came across this book quite by accident. We were at school and we were visiting White Cube Gallery for an exhibition of artists' takes on Poe's famous works. And I had wanted to buy the exhibition catalog, but it was already completely sold out, and there were no more being printed. It was very limited in number. And they had copies of this book available for a limited time there in conjunction with the exhibition. Now, that's not to say this book was made specifically for that exhibition. They just happened to have it there at the time because of the exhibition. It is something that was printed in the UK. This is the UK version of it. I'm not sure what the American version looks like. If I can find any other links for it, I will leave it down below. But this is a fairly easy thing to find. Like, I'm pretty sure you can get it on Amazon. Coming in at number 1, and yes, I know I've mentioned it before for different reasons, but it's Locke and Key. This series really is absolutely fantastically amazing. I don't even know where to begin to really recommend it highly enough. All 7 volumes are out. It's really easy to get because it is a more recently finished series. It is a horror series, and I will give the warning now that it is can be very, very intense and gruesome at times. So, 18 years or older, otherwise use your own discretion. There's pretty much no theme it doesn't shy away from in terms of tackling what it can be like to grow up sometimes. It follows the lives of 3 children who've inherited a key house. They are the Locke family. Their mother is there with them. Their father has died. I won't give you any more information than that because I don't want to get into any spoilers for what happens. But it is really amazing. It's part mystery and part magic, and it is just a whole bunch of messed up stuff. It is also for free right now on audible.com. Just as a disclaimer, I am in no way, shape, or form associated with Audible in any way. I heard about it because I saw the creator and artist for this tweeting about it, and I started listening to it, and I'm about 2 hours in, and I'm almost finished the first book, and it is just the most fantastic thing, and it is absolutely free right now, and I will have the link down below. It's about 13 hours long, but I mean, the couple hours of it I've listened to was over 3 days back and forth on the bus to work, so it's really easy to listen to. It's also a bit more intense and slightly more terrifying to listen to than to read, only because it's right in your ears and it kind of invades your space, and it's very well done. Like any background noises that you would expect to hear, like when he's at the funeral home, or when they're out in public, or they're outdoors in their yard, or like at a school, any types of background sounds you would think you should hear, you will hear. The Foley that they do is amazing and very realistic. The voice acting is very well done. It's Haley Joel Osment, Tatiana Maslany, and Kate Mulgrew of Banachek and Star Trek. So I mean, you know, you'll want to check this out. It is super fantastic. So that's it for my top 5 Wednesday for scary and horror reads you should check out. Thanks so much for watching. And if you liked this video, I have other top 5 videos, and that'll be linked in a playlist down below. Have a great day, guys. Bye.